This is the Kick Coach. Welcome. This video is designed to improve any martial artist at all levels of their training. The best place to learn martial arts is in a proper school, so this video is meant to enhance your current training and practice. The coaching techniques in this video are guaranteed to help you learn and master proper kicking techniques for the basic kicks. We will also cover stretching, warming up with a bar workout, and footwork, which is essential to making the most of your kick practice. The only way to master complicated techniques is by mastering the basic building blocks they are comprised of. So that's what we're going to do together today for the first half hour. The second half is a demonstration with the best coaching tips and instruction for you to apply in your regular martial arts practice. This is the Kick Coach. Remember to be diligent about proper body posture. Chest up, hands up. Stay off your heels and keep your legs slightly bent in an athletic yet relaxed state. For the kicking demonstration, I'll be breaking down each kick into two parts, the chamber and the snap. The chamber is when you bring your knee up into proper kicking position, and the snap is the follow through and recoil of your foot back to the chamber. As we move on to kick coaching, here's some general points to remember and apply to your practice. Always stay loose. Keep an upright body in all your techniques. Stay on balanced feet. Always work on eliminating your wind-up. Some detailed points I'll be referring to in coaching include tension and release, the hip check, the chamber, and the snap. Generating speed and power has much to do with learning tension and release. When your body's in a relaxed state, think about what happens when you flinch or twitch. Your muscles tense for just an instant, and your reaction speed and quickness is as fast as can be. And then you naturally want to relax. So try it with me. Flex your body for just an instant, and then relax. I will refer to this use of flexing and relaxing as tension and release. I want you to apply the sensation of kicking as you remain completely relaxed in your fighting stance, and when you engage in a kick, you flex your body for just an instant until you deliver the strike. Immediately after impact, you go back to relaxed. Your reflexes can't respond if you stay tense after you kick, or if you're tense in your fighting stance. So release the tension in your body at all times, reserving it for just the moments that you want to deliver a kick or dodge. This is how you get the most out of your reflexes and find explosive quickness. I teach this concept starting with what I call the hip check. In most sports, performance of any motion begins in your body's main fulcrum, the hips. This is the hip check. A pop in your hips where all your punching, kicking, and footwork motions come from. It can only be done right when you release all the tension in your body and pop into it. When you wind up into a motion, you're using your hip to generate power. Taking away the wind up is done by starting in a good fight stance and popping your hips from relaxed to strong. Practice relaxing and tensing into the hip check every time you feel your body getting tense. Tension should happen in that split second it takes to throw a kick, and no other time. Release all the tension, all other times. Training tension and release has two important benefits: economy of energy and explosive kicks. Releasing tension between kicks prolongs your stamina. This is not as obvious as it sounds when your nerves or adrenaline are in effect. In the 2008 Olympics, when record-breaking swimmer Michael Phelps won 8 gold medals, the most discussed topic of his success was more often about his ability to economize his energy rather than his swimming techniques. So treat this practice of tension and release as an integral part of your training as you learn how to stay loose, even though you're giving all your effort. The front snap kick is usually the first kick learned in every martial art. Again, we'll break it down to a chamber and a snap. Developing a good chamber comes from the basics of good footwork. The chamber for a front kick is not much different than a step forward. Step forward in your stance and feel your knee and foot drive forwards towards your target. Do it fast. Lifting the knee powerfully is the essence of strong and fast kicking, no matter what kick you're doing. In all kicks, your knee should always be aiming at your target. Aim your knee at the body for a body shot, and aim your knee at the head for a head shot. Drilling footwork basics is the building block to kicking chambers. Using our hip check technique, familiarize yourself with hip checking into a chamber. If you're still not feeling that driving forward force, give yourself a little wind up to feel how your hips push into the chamber. Then take away the wind up and find your hip check. Knee up, toes down, body relaxed, and hip check hard into the chamber. This hard chamber is 90% of your kicking speed and power. The rest is just a follow through with your snap. Add the snap of the leg and maintain good form as practiced on the bar workout. Start off mechanically and build into fluid snaps. Here we work on driving our chamber into a target. The chamber itself is just like a knee strike. Hold good posture in your fighting stance. As you can see, all this power and speed is not coming from the knee snap to the foot, but 90% comes from the hip check to the chamber. So train the chamber diligently. Immediately after impact, relax your body and stay quick and light on your feet. Adding the snap in a fluid motion is important, as it is the follow through to all of this hip power. Don't get sloppy with the chamber just because you're adding speed. Always point your knee at the target you're kicking before you deliver the snap. Don't lose the chamber by adding the snap in any kick. Like a whip, it only requires a twitch from the base of your body to throw a fast kick and powerful strike. Your leg is the whip, and your foot is the striking tip of that whip. So keep your leg loose like a whip as you kick. If you try to muscle the snap from your knee to your toe, you're losing all the power generated from the hip check to the chamber. Turn the two-part chamber and snap into one fluid delivery in all your kicks. Remember, tension and release. The push kick is a go-to defensive kick because it's a great way to parry an attack and stop their forward motion by pushing their hips, blocking their kick, or kicking them in the chest. The push kick is like a front snap kick, only instead of striking at a target, you're pushing at a target. So when you chamber, aim the ball of your foot at the target instead of your shoelaces. This is a great defensive kick for attacks when you're not able to slide or step away from their attack. You can always resort to push kicking them away. It doesn't have to be a strike like a snap kick. It's effective to push away an attack like you would shove or push with your hands. Only you're using the ball of your foot to shove their leg, hip, or chest away from you. Vary the height of the push kick as you practice, leaning your upper body away to protect your face from their attack. Practice adding a shuffle step into the chamber for the front leg push kick. This is similar to how a boxer might use his front jab hand to parry or block punches. Use the push kick to parry and block oncoming kicks. Push kick is also a building block for axe kick. The cut kick and side kick are a variation of a push kick, where you keep your body turned to the side and you kick with the blade of your foot. A cut kick is like a short defensive side kick, and it's a great defensive kick for blocking your opponent's kick at the thigh. Chamber your knee up with your body turned sideways and snap your leg out with your foot flexed, striking with the blade of your foot. The cut kick can also be a push or a strike as you keep your body covered in a sideways fighting stance throughout the kick. Simply throwing your kick higher with a snap is your basic side kick. Your standing foot should pivot all the way around so your heel is pointing at your target, enabling your ability to slide with proper form. This is the cut kick and the side kick. The axe kick should chamber just like a push kick, giving you the choice here to perform either if you see an opening. An axe kick is like a push kick to the face, so chamber your knee up higher as you thrust the ball of your foot to the head. At the peak of your kick, thrust your foot downward like an axe and place it, don't stomp it, into fighting stance position. Practice both legs on targets and snap your leg out and down in one fluid motion. Don't feel the need to wind up just because you're reaching. The axe kick is a very tall kick, so remember to find your hip check in the kick. Build speed and power with each kick on the targets. Practice shuffling into the front leg axe kick with a shuffle step. Knee up and axe kicking in one fluid motion. Practice both legs. The roundhouse kick is the staple of kicking techniques. It is the most commonly used kick and counter kick for its directness and speed, making it the most basic and effective kick in your arsenal of attack. Like a front kick chamber, driving your knee up is the source of power and speed for this kick. The knee up should resemble a front kick, and with each chamber, you have the option to do just about any kick you choose at the last possible second when you see an opening. In the roundhouse kick, chamber your knee up with a rotating twist of your hips, turning your knee into your target at an angled strike. Finding the power in your hip, take an exaggerated swing of your shoulders to engage your hips in a twist like you're swinging a golf club or a baseball bat. The circular motion in the hips is the same, so generating the power from your hips in this fashion is the same. Now take away the wind-up and put that same hip twist into your fighting stance only. Work on hip checking your forward motion only. Light on your feet, hip check to chamber. Driving your knee up and over with a twist should be done powerfully, and this should do the pivoting for you in your standing leg. In other words, you don't need to make your standing leg twist and pivot. You should let it pivot as you drive your chamber knee up and over in a 45-degree angle. Your standing leg should actually be weightless because all of your weight gets thrown into your chamber leg. Your hips should open up naturally and your foot should pivot accordingly. Feel the forward motion in great detail from your fighting stance by doing a mechanical rocking. No wind-ups, forward motion only. The foot and knee should drive straight up into a twist. You don't want to lift your knee sideways, exposing your groin. You want to drag your foot through the center and raise your knee and check your hip into it with a twist. It's a good practice to repeat your motion slowly and always feeling that hip check when you're working in great detail like this. The mechanics of your kick will eventually become tremendously accurate muscle memory if you're consistently practicing the basics. Follow through the chamber with a snap of a leg, toes pointed upon impact. Snapping the roundhouse kick should be a crisp, fluid strike in the blink of an eye. Don't snap your leg until your knee chamber is fully extended. Aim your knee chamber at your target and follow through with a quick snap. Recoil with a relaxed leg and place it back down into fighting stance. Don't stomp when you step down, stay light on your feet. Aim your knee chamber higher at the head for a higher kick. Don't get sloppy just because you're reaching. Reducing the wind-up or telegraph of your kicks is something you should always be working on. Hold proper form in your fighting stance so that you have a good place to push off your feet. With proper footwork and form, you should be able to deliver strong and fast kicks with no wind-up, so your opponent won't anticipate your attack. A strong, fast kick is worthless if your opponent sees it coming a second before it's delivered. Winding up is a surefire way that your opponent will have time to counterattack, block, or evade your efforts. Hip check for the roundhouse kick with more rotation than a front kick. The rotation is the key to making this kick work. Your knee chamber should draw the path of the letter J, not a C. The knee drives up straight first, then twist your hips at the end, bringing your knee over at an angle. The standing leg twists as you open your hips for the snap. Delivering speed and power comes from mastering the basics of the chamber and the snap. This muscle memory can only be developed over consistent training and persistence. Keep your upper body tall and don't lean back or to the side. Don't squeeze your upper body muscles as you kick. Remember, tension and release. Practice your roundhouse kick chamber by driving your knee into an upright target like a shield or a kicking bag. When you develop this chamber with speed and power, you've done 90% of the work. When we hit targets, it sometimes leads us to winding up again. So find out where you tend to telegraph your kick and take it out of the equation. Hip check, hip check. With a crisp snap of the leg, follow through. Toes pointed upon impact and relax. Place, don't stomp your foot back to fighting stance. Repeat each kick with purpose and use what we've learned. Hip check into the chamber and snap. Strike with the top of your foot and find that explosiveness. The roundhouse kick is the most common kick, so developing this is essential. Now that we've added a building block to your kicking with the snap, you may subconsciously be winding up again. Check yourself. Hip check. Tension and release. While target work is great for speed and accuracy, roundhouse kicking on a shield or a kicking bag is a great way to train driving your hips into the kick. Be sure to train both legs evenly on targets and shields. Always train both legs evenly.